Hey guys, namaste, and I hope things are good with you. It's been a while, it's been a long time actually, and it's good to be back on YouTube. Alright, so today I'm going to talk to you about the 8 cities. Now, it is sort of a coincidence because I was working on a chart for this gentleman who wants to know about his spiritual progress, the endeavors, and the capacity to fulfill, to walk on the path of spirituality and all that. So one of the things that I checked is the amplification of the 12th house, because the 12th house is the spiritual house, right? So if you amplify that, right, you have the Siddhamsa house. Now, Siddhamsa, some people call it the Chaturvimsamsa, which also means 24, right? So the D24 shows spiritual endeavors, capacity, and things like that. Now, apart from what I've checked for him, I remember during my days of learning Vedic astrology, my teacher said that there are Siddhis associated in this D24. I can never forget that because these are like interesting topics. It's about superpowers and things like that. So if you've not heard about Siddhis before, is the Siddhi means one or rather a tool for the Siddha. A Siddha is the one, Siddha is like he or she has reached the epitome of spirituality, a spiritual master. So to be a spiritual master, one needs to have these 8 different Siddhis. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about that, right? So to find out about these 8 Siddhis, you can always look in your D24, the Chaturvimsamsa, or commonly known as the Siddhamsa chart. And so before going into details, because when I talk about these powers, you may have a thought that why does it sound like the Avengers movie superhero kind of thing. So before you have ideas about these cities, I just want to say that these cities enables a person to be one with the oneness of this universe, not just Earth, but it's a commonality, a factor which is in you, in me, in everyone in this world, in the animals, in the plants, and in animate and in inanimate anything, it exists, right? The scientific community uses mathematics to find this commonality and patterns. Spiritual people uses to practice and to gain these 8 siddhis so that they too can be with the oneness. They use yoga meditation techniques, Raja Yoga specifically, to gain these siddhis. But the D24 will show us, how much capacity we have to actually attain these siddhis. It's not only for those monks and all this. Even people like you and me can also attain siddhis with certain practice. Okay, so that's what siddhi means. It's like a power for us to be in sort of the oneness of the universe. So if you are, say, if you are you are me, you are the wind, you are the water, you are the sand, you are the mountain, you are the tree, then who are you actually? You are nobody. You are limitless. You are everywhere, you are anywhere, right? So that's what you'll gain as a siddha, someone who is a common attribute of life, I would say. Okay, so what are the 8 siddhis? Number 1 is anima. Anima means to transform your body into a small atomic level. So minute is invisibility, basically, right? Opposite to that is mahima, greatness, right? Become so big, huge, like a giant. Is to be said those days, temples were built by siddhas, right? Transforming themselves into huge beings and lifting up stuffs and putting it across, just like how Hanuman changed himself into a huge form and lifted the mountain, right? So it is also referred as mahima as well. So these powers are there to actually relate and show us that it is possible, right, with these powers. Which is why I said don't get this associated with like the superhumans that we see in the Avengers and all that. those are just movies, right? But a spiritual person has this ability, right? These siddhas, and of course, you can't find siddha in your, in your telephone directory or in your neighborhood. You cannot find the siddhas there. These siddhas are normally out of human contact. They are a recluse. There's some mountains and some deep jungle and all that. But they are. I truly believe that they do exist. These siddhas, right? Yeah. Okay. So anima, mahima, garima. Garima is to make oneself very heavy. There are applications, so there are usages for being very heavy as a boulder, you can imagine, or as heavy as a mountain, maybe. You can make yourself very heavy, garima. And the opposite to that is lahima, weightless. You can practically levitate because you're so light, right? Pratpi. This is the power of prapti. Is like, how can I say this? Is like you can travel great distance at great speed. You can access anywhere in any place without any limitations. Say if you are here now, the snap of a finger, you are 1,000 miles away, just like that. All right, that's prapti. And then you have the prakamya. Prakamya is basically like a genie. Whatever that you want, you can have. Whatever that you desire, you can manifest. It just appears in front of you, right? The next would be isitvar. Isitvar means you have the control over the elements. Like you can control tidal waves. You can part the ocean, like in the Ramayana, right? And other ancient scriptures, they say they can part the ocean and they can walk on the seabed and all that, and those sort of things. Or maybe fire cannot harm you, those sort of things, right? You can create cyclones and tornadoes at will and all that. And the last is Vasvar. Vasvar is like you have no, you have control over any conditions, any circumstances, any situation. You have practically no enemies. Okay, you will become victorious in any attempt, in any situation, in anything that you do. You will be victorious. Right? The power to subjugate others. Right. So together, these 8 siddhis, if someone who can practice this for years and years and years, and they have attained that, and all of that will become called a siddha. Okay. And these siddhas, as I say, becomes one with the universe, which is why for them doing these things, although for us it sounds sometimes, these things, when you hear these kind of things, you may be thinking this is just absurd, right? Silly, ridiculous. But have an open mind about this. I want you to really think about this, Why not? Probably someone has this, right? Someone has this, someone who has the ability to become one with the universe. Right? For them, height or the depth of the ocean, it doesn't matter, because they are the ocean, they are the mountain. Everything is common for them. Okay, so I hope this has been an interesting video, and stay tuned for more. Thank you. Namaste.